And away we go. Yes, Brookings, Oregon. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, listeners, for listening from everywhere that you are in the world. We are on the Quality Living with Peaceful Support program. I am Amanda Whittemore, and we are here in the KCIW radio station, a completely volunteer-based, donation-ran program. Entire studio, entire station, actually. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you would like to tell us where you're listening from, we would love to hear how we can better participate in your region or serve you or talk about things that you want us to talk about. Call 541-661-4098. That's 661-4098. And if you wanted to text, email, any of those things, just go for it. contact@kciw.org. And it makes it a lot more interactive and a lot more fun. Just like a live chat room, only on air. So tune in, listeners, and get ready for really another good show of Quality Living with Peaceful Support. Again, I'm Amanda Whittemore, and we're here in the studio with Ben McQuaid. Hey, Ben, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Amanda. Good to be back.
Yahoo! All right,
Yes.
We have a continuation, or tell us what's on the agenda.
Well, I'd like to continue what we were talking about on our last show. Mm-hmm. We kind of briefly touched on autism. And again, I want to preface it on the fact that in no way am I an expert. I am not certified in anything. I just have it run deep in my family as well as my friends. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I see it here in our community, mm-hmm. and just want to talk about some of the reasons that we think it happens. And mostly
three it's. What is it?
And the third biggest is the coping skills to deal with it.
And it being?
It being autism.
Okay, that's important. We are very appreciative. Yes, listeners, in case you didn't hear the first show, you can find it to catch up with us on kciw.org, quality living / something like that. I'll have to research that part. Okay.
Well, that's all right. Again, it's something that is very prevalent in my family, as well as a lot of my friends' families. For example, one of my best friends, Darren McCaffrey, his son Patrick, he mm-hmm. has his own YouTube channel that you can find, Patrick McMaster. If you look him up, Patrick McCaffrey, you can find him on https://youtube.com for Pat McMaster, and he is becoming a chef. Mm-hmm. And all over the spectrum, there are so many different thankful diagnoses these days. Mm-hmm. The first diagnosis was in 1943. I can only imagine before then mm-hmm. what they were diagnosed as.
Right. And that's, sad to say of a lot of situations in the medical industry.
Indeed. And I want to focus, a little bit of facts that I've found, but also mostly coping skills and mechanisms for people and tools that people in this area can reach out to.
Yes.
So it's, for example, you can, if you just Google autism in Curry County, mm-hmm. there are tons of support groups mm-hmm. on Facebook, on Instagram, and all the social media platforms. I think people are feeling more comfortable to talk about it mm-hmm. these days, mm-hmm. Where it was such a stigma before.
That's true.
I have 3 cousins in my family that are all over the spectrum. Mm-hmm. I believe I talked about my cousin Olivia last show. She's nonverbal, but she is an incredible downhill skier, for example.
Right.
And we talked about how the senses, and a lot of times autistic people, maybe they're, deficient in one sense mm-hmm. and overly so, but they're hypersensitive in all these other senses.
Correct.
I just said I oversensified that, but and it's true. I've seen it. For example, my goddaughter has a 3-year-old son, and he is, you're 3, so you're learning how to talk anyway.
Yeah.
One of the things they do is she calls it squishing.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm not killing my child, but holding, to really help relieve a lot of the stress that he is going through.
Yeah.
And he in particular is very textural related. Certain textures he really likes, certain ones he does not.
Yeah.
So he'll go and say you have a wonderful plant in your house, and he'll go, and if he likes it, he'll go touch it.
Oh, yeah,
he'll pluck all the leaves off and make a puzzle out of it, and that sort of thing. But again, I think it's been such a stigma, and it really doesn't have to be.
Autism.
Yeah. And how we can better, one, as people that don't have this issue, be better to the people that do.
Right.
To help recognize that, and to help them through their process.
Right. And we're seeing more and more resources throughout time, throughout locations, different states. I was in New Mexico in 2018. It's a little while back. However, there was, we were at the state fair, and there was a huge section in one of the barns. You know how they have the animal petting zoo, and they have all the different stations, and they have the different vendors. They had an entire sensory decompression zone just for people with autism.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And people want to know, how, why, is it genetic? Is it environmental? Is it, nurture versus nature kind of question? The top 3 countries that have the highest rates are Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and China, which are all 3 are very fossil fuel based countries. So that could be something.
Could be.
We're number 5. France is the lowest.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there's a parallel that I have, because I come from Lowell, Massachusetts. If any of you have seen the movie The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg, that is exactly where I come from. There's actually a character in the movie that used to live next door to my cousins. And it's with MS. Within a 16-block radius in Lowell, Massachusetts, 3 of my mother's best friends, as well as 5 other people that I know of, all have MS. And Lowell, Massachusetts was the first mill-based city in America. So toxins in the water, that sort of thing, I think that has something to do with it for sure.
Okay. Well, yeah, I believe in it. I was just listening to a person here on KCIW on one of the other shows that we have, and they were talking about, his name is Sebastian something or another. He's a filmmaker, and he was talking about old grow films, and he was talking about the herbicides, and he did a whole documentary on the herbicides that were sprayed through helicopters and airplanes in different parts of Oregon, right here in Oregon, in Wilhelmina County and a couple other places. Hopefully the Wild Rivers Film Festival will get this filmmaker. I sent the information already.
Is it Sebastian Unger?
Sebastian starts with the C. Let's see if I can go to it as quickly as possible. I had it open earlier
he's the guy
today.
Actually, that wrote The Perfect Storm. So
it starts with the C. Right here. Sebastian, Carrasco. Carrasco. So thank you for your time with the KCIW radio station, because these the more we communicate about, the environmental situations that we have in our communities, whether it's in Oregon or Boston or what have you, the more we talk about these things, like you began this segment with, the more we talk about it, the more we get more information, the more patterns and systems add up to what is actually creating these situations. Where does it come from? What's a key, proponent or a key player in the problem-solving game of how to make it better? Things like that.
And that's, and again, going back to coping skills, because with who I was talking about, my goddaughter, music is also another big part of it.
Yeah.
And even though she is not on the spectrum, when she was a child, I would play her Al Green's greatest hits. And I could always, if she was crying, I'm like, give her to me.
Yep.
Give her to me.
Yep.
You know, and music can be a big one. I just watched a great documentary on Amazon, and they followed 4 different people, all different levels, and they let them make their own 2-minute movies about how they felt in their brain.
Wow.
And it
Particular with autism, or?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
One, his focus was time.
Okay.
So he would get ready, say he's getting ready for work. 7:28, he's by the door.
Right.
He walks to the bus stop. If the bus is 5 minutes late, ruins his day.
Wow.
But down to the minute, all these
yeah.
different things. But he plays soccer, he's a goalie, and he's a DJ.
Yeah.
Believe it or
that
not.
would make sense with timing because they are to the second.
Exactly. Exactly. And music, again, being a soother. And another nonverbal person was so frustrating for him because in his brain, everything's fine for him,
Right.
but he can't express it.
Vocalize it.
Yeah. So he speaks on an iPad, which takes time.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But his movie was also, I believe it's called Autism Speaks. You can find it on Amazon through BBC Select.
Okay.
And it's a 2-part series done by a gentleman who actually is autistic. So it's worth checking out.
Absolutely. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. We are on the Quality Living program with Peaceful Support here talking with our new co-host, Ben McQuaid. I'm Amanda Whittemore, and we're going to keep talking about autism and coping mechanisms and all the fun stuff. I have one.
What you got?
I am, due to the field that I work in as a certified yoga instructor, a lot of people think of yoga as simple movements or like exercise, or they think it's something that they do in the gym, or it's a pretzel position they have to get into.
Sure.
Yoga really is the combination of all these things that help autism, that help everything and anything that we're going through. It doesn't matter what it is. And because it's 8 different branches, we have the breath, we have the patience, we have the thought process, the meditation, we have the music, we have the movements, we have the nutrition, we have the environmental control and or acknowledgement of our environmental awareness. So there's so much that yoga in its holistic package can provide to everyone and anyone in any situation, even if it's autism, if it's cancer, if it's situations at work, if it's stress. If they're even if they just want to feel better and they're naturally happy and nothing's wrong with them, it's beneficial to everyone. It's a great coping mechanism.
I absolutely agree. And I was going to actually bring that up. And I think it all starts with the breath.
Oh, it is.
That's what I learned because I do yoga. I have a DVD at home because for all you listeners out there, I'm 6'4". I'm a lanky man.
Get in the studio. The yoga studio.
But I would be afraid of, reaching out and slapping somebody.
No way. Come into Peaceful Support Yoga Studio. Upstairs from Cascadia Pickleball Zone. Get in there. Be my guest. Yeah.
I definitely will. I definitely will. But it has helped me tremendously. And I couldn't believe how much my breathing was so off.
Oh, yes.
Which translates to my sleep. That with anybody who has sleep apnea out there, yoga is your friend.
Totally.
By far.
Yeah.
Because that blew me away. And that is the thing that made me feel the best right away. Aside from the whole stretching and the pretzel thing and all that.
The circulation.
Oh, yeah. No, it's wonderful. And I think it would be great for anybody on all levels of, wherever you're at on the spectrum. I think yoga would be a great place to start. For sure. And in Oregon, we're actually lucky because we have at least 8% higher than national average of specialists. as well as schools and other programs. So in Curry County also in particularly, as I said, you can just go on Curry County Autism, and there's a lot of support there as well.
I like that. It's access. There could be things everywhere, but the access to it and the simplicity makes it even more accessible.
For sure. And taking the stigma away.
Yeah.
I think that is the primary goal for all of us who maybe don't suffer in that way, because we can learn so much from somebody that is sensory hyper aware.
A little water break, listeners.
Right.
Go ahead. If anybody needs some water out there, go ahead and grab your favorite artesian well.
Sound a little froggy. But it is...
And water. Water is actually a big contributor to how we do and do not feel.
For sure.
Yeah.
What are we,
Huge.
75% water in our bodies?
Yeah.
And same almost percentage across what encompasses our world.
Have you tried a gallon a day for a week yet?
No.
Try it.
I've come close. I mean, just in general, but to make a concerted effort, no. I've gotten off sugar, though. That is my biggest thing.
That's huge.
Yeah. That made me, I believe that helped me hydrate better as well.
Right. Yeah, nutrition is a big, big factor in our illnesses or our symptoms or our prognosis, diagnosis, all those, things that occurs, a lot of it based in nutrition.
Absolutely. When it goes back to our first show about you can't heal anybody else till you heal yourself, and it's super true. And it starts with small things, like you said, drinking water, do some yoga.
Yeah.
And even if you are not able to find your awesome yoga class or somebody else, you can just do stretching at home on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
With hydration. And sugar is the devil. It really is. I realize that now that, it took me a little while.
Processed sugar.
Processed sugar, yes. There you go. With good differentiation. Yeah. But since I came back from a friend's celebration of life at the end of July, I have not had dessert. And I have a big sweet tooth. My Irish grandmother, at the end of dinner, it was nothing big, it was something small, but like, right there, come over here, and, just a little something.
Right. We always had dessert first. Before dinner, because it would stimulate the appetite. It would get things, digestive system, salivatory glands going.
Would be down with your family,
Yeah, before, during, and after.
Yeah, it's the digestif and aperitif.
Yes, absolutely.
But again, just going back to the coping mechanisms and skills, we have that as people. If you know anybody that is autistic. Have patience is primary. It's super key. Patience and understanding.
And being present, because sometimes we might think that we're acting with patience, but we're not being present because we're being too busy focused on the fact if we're being patient or not.
Great point.
And being present really allows patience to come through instead of focusing on what we just did or what we have to do. It really helps patience work.
Sure. Again, like I said, great point, because being present allows everything else, not just one thing, everything. It's like water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Truly is.
It's true. It's true. And listeners, if you have any questions here for the Quality Living with Peaceful Support program, please do give a call, 541-661-4098. And especially even pertaining to what the topics are of the show. Today we're talking about autism and how to cope with it and how to make it a little bit more normal on the spectrum, as all things are pretty equal. It's just that weird thing, judgment, that gets in the way, and how to work through that and how to be more supportive in our community.
And also write your congressperson. because we only have 7 states that have specific autism waivers.
If you want to. It's not a call of action. It's just a choice.
Just a choice, total choice, for services and support of autism as of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And that's serving right now less than 3,000 people when we have 1.8 million
Whoa.
diagnosed.
What in the heck?
Moment. Yeah. So that's where I go back to the individual,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing we talked about, again, first show, opening doors, being positive,
Mm-hmm.
and being patient with people. And if you have them in your family, you know, it's hard, especially all over the spectrum. It can be all different types of behavior. It can be all different types of frustration.
It's so true. And breathe. Breathe, have a sip of water.
Yep.
The simplest things will help recenter to deal with these situations that arise.
Exactly. And again, that goes back to, you know, never too late to start your day over. You can always recenter at any time.
It's true.
In any situation. But we're lucky here in Oregon because, again, we are above the national average, better than most states as far as services, recognizing it as what it is. So for, say, insurance reasons, because, you know, that can be a problem for a lot of families to be able to afford the proper care and, you know, the proper insights and how to treat and how to have more patience and more understanding.
Education, of course, is, you know, by far, for me personally, when I don't know something since I was a kid, and, you know, whether they want to call it any alphabetical equation, I don't know what they want to call it. I've never been diagnosed with anything, but I've also never gone to the doctor. So it's good. You know?
But yeah, I have to organize everything in this possible way.
And it's all got a thing. And so what I found out is, like, to prevent fear and to completely eliminate it, or to prevent, like, the unknown, I just learn about it and just educate myself on, like, okay, well, that feels weird. Why does it feel weird? Oh, because I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Let's just learn about it. And then all of a sudden, everything feels great. You know how to handle the situation.
Exactly. Another great point.
Yeah.
You know, self-education.
Exactly. When they used to have libraries, I mean, we still have libraries and we love our local library, but when they used to have libraries as a normal thing, like, I would ditch school and I would show up to the library to learn what I needed to learn, not necessarily what was, you know, sometimes school was a little bit weird and I wasn't sure why that was, and I learned why that was. That's for another show. We're not going to talk about that today, but researching your research, like, that's always the most important part for me.
We definitely are related.
Yeah.
In some ways. I did the same thing because I'm a big history nerd. And when we first moved to California, as I stated on the first show, I read every single history book in the library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I would cut class.
That's so
and
rad.
do the same thing. And they'd be, where's Mr. McQuaid?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the corner reading the book.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
Finally, they just let me do it.
Exactly. No, they would dismiss me. Yeah. Mine was philosophy, but yeah, I would do that.
Well, I was only 8 at the time, so
Right.
I got up to philosophy and, you know, Rollo-May and Descartes and all that kind of stuff. But,
yeah.
But yeah, and again, going back to the special that I watched, I was telling you about the guy that was a DJ. There was also, I believe he is 22,
Mm-hmm.
and he is an MC, and a rapper.
Right.
And he would always sit in the back of the class, not talk to anybody,
Mm-hmm.
but make his own music. And he would make a song a day.
Oh, insanely
So
awesome.
his 2-minute movie rather, showed all of the things that made him feel uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
And he was able to do it verbally.
Right.
And within a whole, he had his whole class there to see it. And it totally, now he sits in the front of the class.
Oh, wow.
Everybody recognizes it.
That's a lot of support, and that's a huge difference. That's like
Exactly.
all the things we were talking about. Time, patience, education.
Because they feel alone a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So a little bit of squishing,
A little squishing, a whole lot of love.
Whole lot of love and patience.
Yeah.
And,
That's pure quality right there.
And we'll hopefully understand more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, peaceful support is where it's at. You know, want to get through something, that's what everybody needs.
And I totally agree with the yoga aspect. I think that's a great idea. Maybe do a class specific to autism, you know?
I can put out a poll and see if that's needed. And we can, you know, they've recently asked me to go into the memory care, such retiree homes, to provide yoga to our in-home pound-bound.
And having worked in that field, as I stated before, I think that would also be a great idea.
Yeah. So, yeah, everything is possible with peaceful support. And we're really lucky to be here in this community. Thank you, Brookings. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, Mike, the sound man. And thank you to the KCIW radio program. And anytime you guys want to get in the station, you want to talk about something, just give us a call or just show up or email. And thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Yeah, every time.
Always.
We'll do it again and again and again until we have better satellites and airwaves. And thank you for sharing with your friends and family.